Right, it's 11 o'clock, so we'll make a start. I have to start by reading this statement out. I am obliged to inform you that this meeting is being videoed. Members of the public are entitled to record the proceedings and are requested to give prior notice so that any additional measures that may assist can be put into place. Any member of the public who has any concerns should raise them now. Right, moving on. Gender apologies for absence? No, I'm not. No.
No, Nick Barkley.
Oh yeah, Nick's still abroad, I believe. So yeah.
Sounds well then, he sounds well.
Yeah.
Alan Bradshaw, but I'm a deputy.
Yeah, yeah. I know everybody's on holiday at the moment. Yeah. So it is. Right, disposable pecuniary interests.
It's not. I don't believe I've got an interest in item 9 of community asset transfer, but I am involved with an organisation that's made decisions on similar projects. So at that point, I'll step out of the room, and it involves the same organisation. So
I'm a digital on that side.
Yeah. So it's to do with Cambrian as well, Railway Trust, whatever they're called. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, moving on. Minutes. There are the minutes of this. There's the 17th and the 26th of September. And Claire, did you say there was one bit she wanted to alter slightly?
Just on page 9, paragraph 75, the second paragraph doesn't make sense, so that will be removed completely. Okay.
Right. Item 4, public question time. I'm not aware of any public questions. Item 5, member questions. Again, I'm not aware of anything. And the same for scrutiny. I don't think there's anything from scrutiny at this meeting. So we move on. Item 7, Shropshire's Great Outdoors Strategy. Councillor Leslie Picton.
Thank you, Leader. This is a 10-year strategy document. Yes, it is 10 years since we did the last one. This document fulfils our statutory duty of the Rights of Way Improvement Plan and has been signed off by Natural England. I think it is worth pointing out that if you look at their comments on the new plan, which can be found in paragraph 3.2 on page 12, they are incredibly positive. This plan has been co-produced with a wide range of public and voluntary sector partners, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank those organisations and individuals, and also the staff of the Outdoor Partnerships team for their work in producing this strategy. The policies in Appendix 5 clarify how we will prioritise our work over the period of this strategy, and a rolling 3-year action plan is included in Appendix 7 and will be evaluated and updated on an annual basis. We are aware that there are significant gaps in the outdoor assets in North and East Shropshire. There is an aspiration to improve this through a new approach to green infrastructure development via the local plan, and this work is ongoing. Over the past few years, the priorities for the Outdoor Partnership team has been to grow their earned income to, in some way, compensate for the cuts in the council's budget. The income has grown from £118,000 per annum in 2013 to an estimated £500,000 for this financial year. The focus on further increasing income continues with the extension to Severn Valley Country Park Visitor Centre and also the proposed development of the Swan Hill Depot in Ellesmere. I think it is fair to say that most, if not all, of the council's funding is dedicated to the statutory duties that the team perform. Any activity outside of this area is undertaken by using an additional earned income or funding sought from external sources, of which there has been significant success. I note that in the press this weekend, a previous Cabinet Office Minister has secured a debate in Westminster to call for a statutory requirement for councils to ring-fence £30 per household per year for parks and outdoor spaces. I look at our head of finance and he's ignoring me, which is surprising. To put this in some context, each household in Shropshire currently contributes just £6.08 to the Great Outdoors budget. I once heard someone say that cultural and leisure facilities and opportunities are nice to haves, but let me give you some facts. In the last data trawl that was undertaken, 57% of all Shropshire residents made regular use of our natural environment. It is estimated that the economic value of visits to the natural environment in Shropshire is worth between £100 and £115 million to the local economy on an annual basis. There are currently over 1,000 volunteers helping to deliver the Outdoor Partnerships team across the county. This work is integral to ongoing maintenance and development, but also tackles social and rural isolation and loneliness. The outdoor assets discussed in this strategy represent much of the free-to-use infrastructure for health and well-being. And having access to the natural environment increases physical activity, which can help to reduce the risk of major illnesses by up to 30%. It's also been shown that access can significantly improve mental health. Mental health issues in Shropshire is estimated to cost us £642 million per year. By just looking at those implications for health and well-being and the local economy alone, maybe these facilities aren't just nice to haves. I truly believe this is an excellent strategy. I commend it to you, and I move the recommendations on the report. Thank you, Linda.
Okay, thank you. Roger? I'll just second it till it's in play. Right, Roger?
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations on the report. To start with, yeah, it's good, and it's something that's wanted, and the 100 million, but there's a couple of buts.
Okay.
All right. Notice that the accessibility has fallen from 85 to 66%. It was engaged 10 years ago, when we had to do quite a rapid look at rights of way to fulfil the statutory obligations for Shropshire Council, and I noticed that if there is any more cuts, we may be in danger of losing that. But my only other comment is about the assistance. I'm a member of a parish council. Parish and town councils are assisting in providing these tier 1, 2 and 3 country parks and everything, and Longdon Parish Council, a third of their budget is going to help keep Lithiel going, to help Shropshire Council. It is the country parks, and I recognise the importance of it both to the economy and to the health of the people in Shropshire. So yeah, welcome the report, and long may it continue that we can, parish councils and other bodies can actually work with Shropshire Council in actually delivering what it says in their report.
Rob, first. Sorry. Councillor Rob Macy, Leslie, yeah.
Mine was only to say I recently attended the Oswald Street Civic Society Awards in the past week, and I was delighted when I attended that actually I found that the countryside maintenance team had won an award, and that was for their work with setting up and supporting parish paths partnerships, and for their work they were doing with the stiles and the gates and keeping the access in the area open. One of the team attended to accept the award alongside some of the members of the Parish Paths Partnership, and I was delighted in the way that they represented the council and so on. It was a real positive for us, and I think they should be commended for that and the fact that they recognised for an award. So it was just
Okay, Leslie.
If I could just come back to Councillor Evans, you're absolutely right, and it was remiss of me, Roger, not to say thank you to all those towns and parish councils who actually do help us keep the parish paths and everything and country parks in the condition they are. Robert, it is really good news about the Oswald Street Civic Award. I should perhaps also point out, in case people don't remember, that they've actually been given the Queen's Medal for Voluntary Service last year as well. Parish Paths Partnership is a fabulous organisation, but as I did say, without them, we wouldn't be able to continue doing the work we do. And you're absolutely right about the accessibility. Actually, Claire Farbs is here, who's the Outdoor Partnerships Manager. Claire, is there anything you wanted to add about the accessibility side of it?
Just use the microphone.
Just come standing around.
Morning. No, I mean, I'm glad that the strategy has been well received, and many thanks to the town and parish councils who have, in some cases, really supported us with taking these parks forward and recognise the importance of those. No, I mean, I think we've got a great partnership there with our colleagues in other organisations, and we really should be able to make a difference going forward.
Okay, thanks, Claire.
Okay. Right. Okay. Pauline. Council Pauline.
I only do that because I get told that if I don't introduce everybody for when it's been videoed.
That's it. It's just a request I meant to do as it's planning. Mike Crawshaw from Natural England came to Wixall Parish Council on Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever evening it was, and he said that they're not being consulted about chicken and turkey farms when they're going up for planning, and he said it is unbalancing the environment, and will you please make sure that they're consulted? That's from him, so I promised that I would bring that forward. So
I'll
because
ask Rob to take that on board
Okay.
and see what he can do from a development control perspective. Right, in terms of this report, it's all good news, so can I just see everyone, make sure everybody supports it? Right, yeah, that's fully agreed. Right, moving on. Annual report on health and safety performance for 2017-2018, Councillor Steve Charnley.
Thank you, Leader. The report tabled in front of you is a comprehensive report highlighting the facts and figures for the last 12 months. A couple to pick out. We are comparable or better than neighbouring authorities. Incidents that have been reported to the Health and Safety Executive for employee accidents have risen slightly from 12 to 16, as have non-employees from 7 to 10, but both figures are obviously at a low level and relatively normal. Within our schools, 140 schools are now accredited as safer schools, which is really positive, and there's a long list of other schools working towards that accreditation. One which I wasn't actually aware of is that over the last 12 months there have been 113 courses run, with over 1,100 delegates from employees and partner organisations attending, things such as asbestos awareness and lone working, fire safety, etc., etc. So good to see that there's plenty of training going into it, and I think that's reflected in the low level of figures of incidents and accidents in the workplace. So I move.
Right, I'm happy to second, Roger.
Only one point, Chairman, and that's on page 205, item number 29, and it's to do with stress-related absences, risen by a third from 16 to 21%. Don't know what numbers that is, but with us asking more and more of our staff, I would hope that we are keeping an eye on it and trying to manage that to find out some of the reasons. Some of it is maybe home and outside the council, but some of it is obviously from inside the council. So as I said, I don't know what numbers. It would be useful to know some numbers there, and also how we compare that with other equivalent local authorities. Number of comparisons, as was highlighted, and it's good to know that we're on the good side of many other local authorities, but on that one I'm not sure where we are.
I don't know the answer.
I can get you those figures, Roger, no problem.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Right, any other comments? Or everyone happy to support the recommendations? And there are a list of key actions as well, so all those in favour, please show. Right, that's agreed. Thank you very much. We move on to item 9, which is the community asset transfer of Oswald Street Station building. I'll just let the two members go, right? Councillor Steve Charnley.
Thank you, Leader. Oswald Station building, and I remember it, and I'm sure Joyce will remember from Oswald Borough Council days and the refurbishment using various European funds at the time. Now we have the group who runs the railway organisation within the town, and a significant tourism interest for the northwest of Oswald Street, looking to take this on under a community asset transfer. So good news for the area of Oswald Street. The recommendations are laid out as 2.1 and 2.2. And what I would like to do is change those recommendations to reflect that we now have a new director of place in position. So by removing 2.2, completely, but enveloping that into the one recommendation and delegate authority to directly replace Mark Barrow in consultation with myself to take this forward. So in essence, it's the same thing, but just under one recommendation.
Okay, I'm happy to second that. But I have got a question, and I did warn Claire. As part of 2.1, it does finish with state aid rules and the council's legislative obligations. State aid rules seem to crop up all the time, and I get confused as to how they actually relate to the council. And I'm going to ask Claire. I don't say it just now. I mean, you can try doing it quickly now, but a briefing note to come out to members so we understand where state aid rules come into play or don't come into play from our perspective as a council.
Yes, certainly, Legal. I can provide all members with a briefing note on that within the next week. With regard to this matter, basically state aid rules are when a public authority may give money or assets or something else in kind to the private sector. There are European rules that we have to comply with, and that's to make sure that the public sector isn't undermining competition in the private sector. So with regard to this matter, we haven't had the opportunity to look at, if we did give the asset to the Cambrian Railway Trust, whether that would breach those rules. Chances are it won't, but you have to go through that procedure, and we haven't had that opportunity yet. But I will, as I say, give a briefing note for all members, because this does come up time and time again. I think it's important that people do have at least an understanding of the principles of that.
Thank you very much. So in terms of this recommendation, it'll just be 2.1, and if I'm getting this right, it'll read that, in principle, the disposal of Oswestry Station building as a community asset transfer is agreed. We've delegated authority to the Director of Place in consultation with the Deputy Leader to agree the method and terms of disposal to ensure compliance with state aid rules and the Council's legislative obligations. Full stop. Right? Okay, so anybody want to comment, or are you all happy to go to vote? Right then, we'll move to the vote on that. All those in favour, please show. Right, thank you. We move on, and exclusion of the public and press.